Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal. I review supplements, and during this video we're going to talk about DHEA, not to be confused for DHA. DHEA is actually a hormone that's found in abundance in the body and actually has a lot of responsibilities related to testosterone and estrogen levels. So what actually happens is DHEA is a hormone that's produced by the adrenal glands, and the reason it's important and perhaps worth considering supplementing with is because levels of DHEA actually decrease after age 25. And as per this chart over here, we can see just actually how significant the decline of DHEA levels are. In your 80s, you're actually having 80% less DHEA in your bloodstream than you would have at age 25 to 34. So if you're like me and you want to have increased levels of testosterone, which can help you with building muscle and help you with productivity, thinking clearly, and being in a better mood, this is an especially important hormone to be mindful of. But interestingly enough, just like their levels of testosterone can be significantly influenced by your diet as well as your lifestyle, the same thing can be said about DHEA. But what exactly is DHEA anyway, and how does it differ from testosterone? And perhaps this might be an oversimplification, but it's like testosterone comes as a result of one of the building blocks being DHEA. And that's because some DHEA converts to testosterone or converts to estrogen. But based on the research that's out there on DHEA and just how it affects cognition and how it affects the body, really the most important thing is that you don't have low levels of DHEA, because low levels of DHEA are responsible for having like fragile bones, decreased muscle mass, and even affecting your ability to lose fat. However, there's really not that much research showing that increasing your DHEA levels can do just that. So I'd say like that's what makes it a bit different than testosterone levels, because when testosterone levels go up, it's very easy to build muscle, lose fat, you're thinking clearly, you're able to sleep a lot less. I know this because I've had higher testosterone levels in the past as I was on TRT, but I look at DHEA more like you want to be healthy, have good normal levels of DHEA, because lower levels of DHEA could not only mean lower levels of testosterone, but also have an increased risk of diseases and actually risk of incidents happen. There's also significant effects on your mood, because some people actually supplement with DHEA and they notice that some of the symptoms of depression are actually lessened. So as you can see, it's very complex and there's a lot of different reasons people may actually supplement with DHEA. Some people may actually do it to help them with osteoporosis. Some people may do it for the mood. Some people may do it in fact to increase their testosterone levels, which I don't recommend. Personally, if you were to ask my opinion, I would not supplement with DHEA. I do not see it as like a safe thing to do or safe practice, especially considering like this is a hormone and you want to be especially mindful about like when you're ingesting hormones, most likely you would have to stick with them long term. Is it worth it? Probably not, in my opinion, because there's just not enough research showing just how effective and how safe it can be long term. Of course, we're always going to have studies showing that there could be a short-term benefit, but maybe adverse effects may not be noticed. But if they do continue that study on over the course of a decade, maybe 2 decades, likely we would find some sort of side effects, or at least like that's what I think. I think DHEA supplementation is somewhat like still new on the scene. People are talking about it. A lot of people actually use it as an alternative to testosterone, which can make sense for some individuals. But what is positive is for people that do actually have lower levels of energy or experience a lot of fatigue during the day. Maybe there's an issue with their adrenals, who knows, or thyroid issues. Some of those individuals actually do notice a benefit when they are to ingest DHEA. And now I would never recommend anybody to use DHEA without first consulting with their general practitioner. But I came across this anecdote on Reddit where somebody had stated that my DHEA was so severely depleted that once I was probably supplemented, it was like a light switch got flipped on. Everything changed for the better. Cognition, strength, and sleep. And this could suggest just that having lower levels of DHEA can not only affect you both physically, but also mentally as well, and will plummet your energy levels. And this information suggests and kind of reinforces the idea that DHEA is kind of similar to levels of testosterone, because if you have lower levels of testosterone, it will affect cognition. It will be such that you're to sleep and maybe not wake up so restored and rejuvenated as you would be. And so perhaps in supplementing with DHEA can help some individuals with their energy levels. And this makes it kind of confusing, because I know a lot of people do suffer with like chronic fatigue or feeling tired. And so it's critically important that you do get blood work done to really identify exactly what is the problem. And while some individuals may be having lower levels of energy due to having lower levels of DHEA, it's more commonly going to be associated with things like having a low thyroid or having low iron levels. And so if you are going to start going ahead and getting blood work done to measure your levels of DHEA on a somewhat regular basis, then I would really encourage you to have it at the same time during the day, ideally having it in the morning, because DHEA levels, what we know about them is that the blood work clearly shows that it significantly changes throughout the day. And this is very positive. This recent publication done actually in 2023, DHEA supplementation in rheumatic diseases, a systematic review. And although the study was actually done on people with disease, it does have some significance for healthy individuals because they did show there was a positive effect on bone mineral density and it helped with fatigue. And this is what you'll find when you're looking at research done on DHEA. There's no like perfect study showing that it can take like a young healthy individual like myself and help them perform better in any way if we were to supplement it. More so, the studies done on DHEA are done on individuals that have some sort of disease. Maybe they're elder. Maybe in this case over here, they actually took women that had adrenal insufficiency. And in this study here, the participants all pretty much mentioned that taking DHEA as a supplement actually helped to increase their quality of life, which basically means that they're in a better baseline mood, you can say, and feeling healthier. And this is a great study done on DHEA on sexual function, a systematic review, where they actually took participants that had, you could say, self-claimed low sexual desire. And they did in fact find that sexual function was improved. But what was interesting was that it seemed that the individuals that had the lowest level of sexual desire, they were impacted the most. So they noticed it working, whereas the people that maybe felt okay, they didn't notice too much of a benefit. And with respect to improving body composition, meaning making you look better, build muscle, lose fat, have more muscle mass, and more lean mass, it's debatable. There is research supporting that it either does something which is negligible or it doesn't do anything. And so I think it's safe to say more DHEA is going to be better, but is it worth supplementing with? Probably not. Perhaps muscle mass. Is this study done over here? The effect of DHEA administration on free testosterone in middle-aged and young men following high-intensity interval training. So they actually went ahead and they tracked levels of testosterone as well as the DHEA in young individuals during the time they were performing high-intensity interval training and following the time they were performing high-intensity interval training. What we do know about HIIT is that it's very taxing on the body. It takes a lot of time to recover. Nobody should be doing high-intensity interval training every single day. Maybe twice a week would be max if your goal would be to lose fat and perhaps help you with recovery and help you with your athletic performance. And what's so interesting about the study was that they had a placebo group as well as they had the group that was using DHEA. In this study, they were taking 50 milligrams, which is a pretty normal size amount. And what happened was the individuals that were supplementing with DHEA, their levels of testosterone were a bit higher during high-intensity interval training sessions, as well as 24 hours following the high-intensity interval training session. Their levels of testosterone were higher and their levels of DHEA were higher. And as shown, these results demonstrate that acute oral DHEA supplementation can elevate free testosterone levels in middle-aged men and prevent it from declining during high-intensity interval training. And the people that may excite are individuals probably like myself. Like when we do high-intensity interval training, a major fear is, am I going to lose muscle? I want to lose fat, but I don't want to lose muscle. Maybe a practical way of using DHEA could be around high-intensity interval session training. So DHEA, it may affect testosterone levels, it may not. Probably not, maybe a little bit. And the dosages seem to really vary. I think the individuals, if they do take it, they should take as little as they can to get the benefit that they're looking for. One dosage protocol I particularly liked because I found it interesting and it's a fairly low dosage protocol would be taking 10 milligrams for every 10 years you're alive. So a 40-year-old individual would be taking 40 milligrams per day and women would be taking 25% of this amount. So in that situation, like say a 40-year-old female, they would be taking 10 milligrams per day. Then at the same time, you see some dosage protocols like 50 to 100 milligrams twice a day, which I think is excessive. And this is something to really be cautious about. There's individuals, you'll find anecdotes where people have ingested too much DHEA and then as a result, they wake up, they've lost hair, there's hair all over their pillow. And outside of like regular tablet supplementation, there's creams, there's also sprays, but I personally wouldn't touch like the creams or the sprays. It seems like most of the research and what we know about DHEA suggests that oral supplementation is just fine. What are your thoughts on DHEA and should people avoid it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do subscribe, drop a like if you did find the video informative. And if you want to talk with me one-on-one, you can message me on Patreon and be sure to visit our Discord server where we have a 24/7 chat room. We're answering questions in a time-sensitive fashion and having a whole lot of fun. I thank you for your interest and I look forward to seeing you next time.